life and you're not behind because you haven't accomplished certain goals in your life. But who knows if I would have got married with this man? I probably be unhappy. I probably, let alone starting a channel. And I think that's one reason. Another thing why I kind of started my channel back then, because I had went through a lot at that time in my life. Like I say, with good evening, how my beautiful queens and handsome kings doing this evening. How you all doing? Welcome back to another video. This would be like a different video. I just kind of wanted to do more of a sit down chit chat video this particular day, and I just wanted to just open up about this topic because I've been getting this a lot when it come down to like society, societal norms, if I'm pronouncing the word right. And what I mean by that, most people try to make others feel like they're behind because they haven't accomplished certain goals or certain levels in life, or goals. So I had somebody tell me, why you haven't got a car yet? Because, if you have been following me for quite some time, or if you follow me or new to my channel, you all know that I'm currently, at the moment, I have to catch lifts to and from work. I used to have to catch buses back in the day, but like I say, since the pandemic, y'all know, they cut a lot of routes out here in Memphis. And then the bus that I normally would catch home, it run like every 2 hours, and it's really not a good fit because I don't like standing at the bus stop for like 2-3 hours, especially in the summertime. It be really, really hot. And then y'all know I tell you all I have to be at work so early in the morning, so I can't even get a bus at that time of morning. And then, I don't want to, try to be late, risking that chance. But anyway, I had someone say, you should have had got a car, and why you haven't got a car? And my thing is, everybody be so quick to tell you what you having, why you should do this, and why you like everything come easy. And like I tell folks, you have to have money to buy certain things, cars, homes, houses. And if you don't have that money, or if you don't make that kind of money, you just have to do without, And it's just really sad we living in this day and age where people make other people feel guilty because they haven't reached a certain level in life. And I just wish we could stop doing that, trying to make other people, because I feel like you're not behind because you haven't reached, if you haven't got the new promotion on the job, or if you haven't had to start a family, or you haven't got married yet. That's another question I get a lot. You ain't married? Where your boyfriend at? Why you ain't married? And why you only have one child? When you plan on having more kids? I'm surprised you only have one child. I had to get people told. Like the old Kanisha, I would have just sit up there and smile. I said, you know what? God blessed me with just one child because he knew that's all I could handle. Like I say, raising a child, especially by yourself, is not easy. We all know that. So I can imagine how it would feel if I would have, kept going and had children. Not saying that it's, a bad thing. Like I said, I love children. And I always wanted maybe like 1 or 2 kids, but God knew that I could only handle one. And he blessed me with, my daughter, who's now 18 years old. And I feel like I did a dang on good job raising her by myself. I might have like a little help from my family or whatever, but overall, majority of the, when it come down to raising her, I had to raise on my own. Like I said, I had my daughter at 22 years old. I was 22 when I found out, that I was pregnant with her. And I feel like I did good, especially in the day and age where we at right now, where everything's so expensive. I can imagine how it would be if I did decide to keep going and have more kids. Who knows how, my life would be. I probably would be struggling more, or, it's just hard out here to be trying to do things if you can't afford it. So if I know I couldn't raise more kids or start additional, if I know I'm struggling now with one, because like I say, raising my daughter, it's been somewhat a struggle, but I thank God that he had gave me the strength and courage to keep pushing and pressing on, because like I say, when I was working at the time when she was young, like I say, these jobs here in the South, especially here in Memphis, they do not pay well at all. So like I tell people, when you be saying why people haven't reached these kids and stuff, the jobs here just, like I said, they don't pay well. But who knows how my life would be if I would have still kept going to have more kids or something, So I just wish people could stop putting other people down and just worry about their own lives. I feel like the world be so much of a better place if people would just worry about they selves versus others, because just because you might accomplish, got married at a certain age, or you started the new promotion at your job, or you got a house, that's good for you. But that's not saying that, you 25 years old, you are already fully established. That don't mean everybody that's trying to get to a certain level in their life going to be 25, starting a family or getting married, starting a job, or, well, I ain't gonna say a job, but starting become their own boss. That's not realistic for everybody, and I feel like everybody knows what's best for their life. So I just really wanted to talk about this because I get these questions asked a lot, like why I haven't did this or why I haven't, I can't mate. And then when they come down to the dating and relationships, when you you have to nowadays have to really get to know a person that you decide to allow in your life. I just feel like if you haven't been dating someone for quite some time, you don't want to just rush into nothing. And marriage is a huge step. Marriage is something that I desire, and I always said I hope and pray that it will come true for me someday. But okay, y'all, I'm back. But yeah, you really have to get to know a person before you rush into a relationship or get real serious, because nowadays people can betray. They can start off being nice. That's something I experienced in the past when it come down to past relationships. The person can start off nice, make it seem like that you the world to them and you mean everything to them. And then I would say maybe 3 to 4 months later, depending on how long you all still dating or talking, people change. So I don't want to push myself into a relationship if the person not really ready, really ready for to make. Like I say, marriage is a huge commitment. It's it's supposed to be once a lifetime thing, but nowadays some people, they might the marriage might not always work out for them, and then God might bless them with a second go round, and the second time they get married, hey, it'd be like if they got married the first time. So I always said that, when I get married, I want it to happen once, but, who knows, well, I always just said I wanted to happen once in my life, but my thing is you just can't rush certain levels in life that's meant to be like a lifetime or it's like steps to everything. It put me in the mind of a child when the child first learned how to walk and talk. Like if you look at a baby crawled, and then the baby eventually started learn how to walk and take step by step. So that's how I look at life as a baby. It's levels to life, and you're gonna have to grow before you become an adult or before you get to that next phase in your life. So like I say, I'm coming from someone who desired marriage, or I always wanted to get married. Like I say, I had dated this guy who I really truly, that I thought was the one for me. We was together for 5 years, and then he proposed. I think I have shared this story before on my channel, a little story time. This video might have been 3 years old, because y'all know I've been doing this for 5 years now. But we were supposed to get married. He proposed to me on his birthday. I'm so excited, and I'm going out. I'm just, broadcasting it out on social media. At that time, I was very active with my Facebook page. So we taking pictures. Y'all know I enjoy taking pictures too. So, being in this space, this is something I always want to do, like filmmaking, for photography, and just taking pictures. And the pictures that we took was really, really nice. Actually, my daughter at the time, when she was a little young, she captured a lot of the images that we took, but a lot of those pictures, they still up on my old Facebook page, but I have, since deactivated that page, because like I say, that's a part of my story, and that's, that chapter in my life has been much in it. But they were some beautiful photos at that time. But he made me feel like that he was really ready for marriage. And so the thing was, he proposed to me. We went to one of my favorite parks. Y'all have seen the park plenty of times in the video. Down by it's not too far from where I work at, the park. He proposed to me in my favorite park. I'm thinking that, hey, I'm just the luckiest girl in the world. Cause what man would propose to a woman on his birthday? Like the day God, like the day he was born, like that. You know, you really feel special and mean. Like, man, hey, he got to be the one. You know, but come to find out, I noticed after engagement, he started changing. Like he didn't get he didn't get the people that was supposed to be a part of our wedding party. He didn't get the guys together for the, get their tuxedos. Here I am. I went out. Every paycheck made well, I ain't gonna say made flowers, made bouquets, but I had bought the flowers. Y'all know y'all can buy the little artificial flowers from like the dollar store and the Dollar Tree, and they carry those. So I end up, made a whole bunch of beautiful bouquets and flowers. Cause y'all know I was so excited because I was really planning. Okay, I was really planning for this wedding. Like this was my dream come true because this is something I always desire. Like I actually I had dreams how my wedding would be like at that time. Like I would dream me walking down the aisle and getting married at that time. And I guess sometimes dreams don't always mean that it's gonna happen for you, but I don't know. It's just I kept dreaming about a marriage, and it always was myself at that time. But when I got down to the aisle, the groom, I couldn't see the person's face in the dream. But when I found out that I was gonna be a bride, it really, it really woke me up, and I'm like, man, God really answered my prayer, because that's something I always desire. But like I say, to make a long story short, he come down, he wasn't ready for marriage, and he told my mom that the only reason why he proposed to me because he didn't, fear out of losing me. But my thing is, that's why I tell people be so quick to always talking about why you're not married. I can't make no one be committed to me, I know what I want, and when this incident happened to me, because I have got over it a long time ago, but I just wanted to just share because I'm just trying to get my point across, in this video about, certain levels in life, and you're not behind because you haven't accomplished certain goals in your life. But who knows if I would have got married to this man, I probably be unhappy. I probably, let alone starting a channel, and I think that's one reason, another thing why I kind of started my channel back then, because I had went through a lot at that time in my life, like I say, with the broken engagement, and at the time I took a lot of losses in my life from friendships, losing a lot of people. Not losing people, but just losing people out of my life. People that I thought was a friend of mine, and it just things just happened. We all had to go our separate ways. And one thing about me, I always wish the best for a person. I never speak badly on people. Like I say, everybody. I just feel like it's a time and season for everything, and I'm learning also that. Not everybody that come in your life that's gonna meant to stay in your life. Like people is like a season, so y'all know the season change. And so I just feel like when God elevated you and he moving you to a different direction, it's not gonna be for everybody to understand, and that means that sometimes he have to remove certain people out of your life for to make room for new people. So yeah, but I was at that time in my life, I had went through a lot from that, the broke off the engagement, the false engagement, and then just, felt like I was being mistreated, and it just was a lot. So that's one reason why I had started my channel, to just open up and document, some parts of my life. But I just feel like you're not behind because you haven't accomplished certain things. And not saying that I don't want marriage to come true, but I know that the next person that God sent my way, it's just I want to take my time to get to know a person. Like I say, I'm 41 years old. I know I'm getting older, because I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you're getting older. You ain't getting no younger." Well, my thing is, I'm not finna rush into nothing. Even I'm not finna go back down. I'm not finna deal with another loss when it come down to breaking off another engagement because. Because you saying that I should get married or rush into something. I'm not gonna rush into nothing, and not saying that I rushed into the marriage that the marriage at that time. It's just something that I always spoke up on. I never want nobody to feel like that I'm making them feel like they have to do things, like if I'm dating someone, like dating a guy, I never want him to feel like that I'm making him do things. But I feel like when you with someone for 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years, you should know if this person really, really is the one for you. Because I feel like if you be with somebody for so long, even 10 years or whatever, and you haven't committed to that person yet, I just feel like you wasted that person's time. Like, what's the point of just continue on if you don't see a future with that person? Y'all just still, it just, some stuff just don't make sense to me. That's just my personal experience on it, But like I say, I know what I want, and I know what I want to tolerate. I'm not going to lower my standards to make somebody else happy. And I know that's another thing when it come down to, I'm going to just speak for myself, you can't lower your standards, as a woman. You know what you want out of life. You just can't lower your standards. You the prize. I look at it like that. You got to know your worth. Because if you don't know your worth, a person will teach you your worth. And if you don't know your worth, they'll show you your worth. So I feel like, you should know you're valuable, you're precious, you're a diamond. Don't take 10 cents when you're, no, you're a diamond, So, another thing I noticed, like what I say with the luxury, like people say about the house. We all know that the economy is really bad right now. God finally just blessed me at 41 with my own place. If y'all know I've been, documenting my home moving in diaries. I'm just not recently getting a place of my own. Like I felt like I always had to stay with someone, most people say, well, Kanisha's not really homeless, but I never really had a home of my own or in my own name. So me waiting and being patiently waiting on God, he finally opened this door for me. Like ever since I've been in my own space, I've been at peace. Y'all been hearing me talk about, I'm just so excited about this stage and chapter in my life that he finally opened a door for me that I can call my own, because it's nothing like, having your own space and just being alone. Because if you know, I'm more of a person that, to myself anyway, I'm more of a homebody person besides working. I work a lot. But overall, besides working, every blue moon I might get out. Y'all see a couple of friend ladies I hang out with. Y'all seen them in past videos. But I'm just not really a person that just like to go out all the time. I just, like I say, especially on my off days, and I'm out these next couple of days, your girl finna be relaxing and getting her self-care in at the house. But I just like to be at peace. I like a peace of mind, and just, sometimes I just want to hear the birds chirp or something and look at the sunshine. And, I'm more of a loner, but I do like to, I'm a person that do like to be I'm more of a loner, but I am sociable too, to a certain extent, but like I say, everything takes place. Like I say, bless me at 41 years old. That's why I say age, it don't matter how old you are to accomplish certain things. Who knows, even when me and my ex, when we was living together, I'm so glad, and something just told me don't sign the lease. If I would have signed that lease and then I had to break that lease out, who knows, I probably wouldn't be in this place. Because what people don't know, your social security number and your name, that follow you a long way. Like, they can pull up stuff from whatever you did in your past or whatever, it'll pull it up on it, I thank God that, like, I never had like my background is clean. Like, I never, did nothing bad or illegal. But I'm just saying, if I would have signed that lease when me and him stayed together, who knows what might happen. I probably wouldn't been able to afford, be able to get this place, because like I say, I think it's not a good look, from my understanding, when you're moving like that multiple times, or if you haven't stayed in a place for over a year or two. It probably make the homeowner or whoever you're renting from look at you like, man, this person can't, they move around a lot. I didn't want to have that on my background, so I'm glad that I didn't sign the lease when me and him was together. But I'm also glad that God showed me that, there's potential, because I felt like I knew that this I was supposed to be here. Like, when I had took the background to get into this place, it came back within 24 hours, and I received the email, and I'm like, man, God is good. So I'm glad I waited. And y'all know, even when I was staying at the other place with relatives, Y'all know I always stay in my room on the y'all mostly saw me more in the room. Now like I said, I'm in my front. I got more space or whatever, but at the other place I didn't really have much space. But y'all noticed early on in my videos I was always stuck in the room because I like peace, you know. Not saying that when you stand with people, because like I say, when you stand with other people, you have to respect their household, their home. But like I say, this is mine. If I want to come in here and keep my shoes out, even though I keep my house clean anyway, if I don't feel like, even if I come in, I can relax, kick my shoes back, sip on me a glass of wine without somebody interrupting me, telling me, hey, you can't do this, hey, because this mine, you know, God bless me with this. But there's no levels to life. Everything takes time. And what's meant for to happen in your life, it'll happen. It don't matter what age you is. Like I say, I was 32 years old. I graduated out of college. Y'all heard me talk about this story of your life. I was 32 when I graduated. It took me 4 years to graduate at that time from college. I was a college dropout. Like I say, when I went, I struggled a lot in my teenage years in high school. I also was like a year behind in school, but I didn't let that stop me from keep trying to graduate and get my degree. You have to keep pushing on, and you never stop believing that it won't happen for you. I just want to share that. Never stop believing that it can't happen for you. Just because it happened for the next person doesn't mean it can't happen for you. Also, I'm learning that sometimes you have to cheer for other people and know that just because God blessed them with whatever it is in their life, the new family, the new car, the house, the marriage, the new apartment, the new promotion, be happy for them, and you know, and know that it can happen for you. But also don't compare yourself to other people just because if these things happen for these people at 25, for instance, or 32. Don't feel bad because you might be a little older or, older in age, and then you see that somebody that's much younger than you. Don't feel bad about that. And the reason why I say that, because I used to feel bad, at the time, like I say, at my age, because there was people around me who I have seen that accomplish certain levels in life that I wanted to come true, especially for instance with the marriage thing. I talked about the marriage part, but that was something I wanted to happen for me. And most of the people that was around me, was at that time was a little younger than me, and I saw that it happened for them. But I was happy for them. I congratulate them. But God had to really sit and talk with me and let me know that just because it happened for them doesn't mean that it can't happen for you. Be happy for people while they're in their winning season, because just like I bless them with that, with the opportunities, I can bless you too. So I don't know who might need to hear that message. Don't stop believing. Don't give up. And know that whatever it is you want come true in your life, it'll happen when it's time. And don't feel like you behind because somebody say why you ain't got the car yet, or why you ain't had a child. Like I say, everything, some people might, children is a blessing or whatever it is, like right today, like I said, I know some people who don't have kids, and they more like a mother figure to like their nieces and nephews. Not everybody might be able to have a child, or not everybody might want a marriage, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it just, God knows what's best for each and every one of us, but don't never feel like you're behind because of what society says. Society is saying that's what's wrong with society now. Is too much of the what you should do and why you should, when really life is not meant to be rushed. You get 24 hours on a day. I tell people this all the time. Sunrise, that means he woke you up to see another day. When that sun go down, is that day been over with. The next day, sunrise, he woke you up another day. You get 24 hours in a day, and it's up to you to know within that 24 hours what you're trying to do with your life, what goals you're trying to plan. It's the same way with me now. Y'all know I've been telling y'all since I've been moving and I've been working a lot. I got to get back on trying to get my health back together, like get back and working out, doing home workouts. But in due time, it's going to happen. Like I say, I'm not going to put too much on myself because I know, working 2 jobs and moving around, especially the kind of work I do, I feel like I pretty much get a workout at work. But I do kind of miss doing them little 5-minute home workouts at home, But I'm not going to make the video too long, but I just want to say, never feel guilty for not accomplishing certain things. What's meant for you is for you, and when it's your time, it's gonna happen for you. And just know that He don't make mistakes. God don't make mistakes, and just continue to believe in your dreams and never give up. Never give up. Until the next time, I'll be talking to you all. Your girlfriend, enjoy the rest of this beautiful sunshine. I'm actually cooking too. I'm going here to check on my food, and until next time, I'll be talking to you the next one.